Hi everyone, my name is Omo Nogudo and I'm happy to be here with Adesua Ifedi, the Senior Vice President of Heifer International. Nice to meet you, Adesua.
Yeah, nice to meet you everyone, and Omo, thanks for doing this.
Thank you. Tell us, Heifer has been in Africa in the last 50 years. Tell us about the legacy of Heifer International in Africa and the journey itself.
As an organization, we've always evolved. We started from wanting to provide relief to war-torn countries, that was in Europe about 80 years ago, to beginning to think about how farmers would need to build their own capacity to go beyond just aid, but to be able to build some small businesses to support themselves and their families. And that's how we moved from a cock to a cow as a means of providing assets to the poorest of the poor, increasing community wealth. Our work is the whole ecosystem that supports farmers to thrive. You know, our mission statement is ending hunger and poverty while caring for yours. And our legacy has been the smallholder farmers who we believe are the poorest of the poor in our continent. Our dream as an organization is an empowered community that translates into an empowered food systems for Africa, that also translates into a continent that feeds itself and the world. A journey of staying true to the cause, which is ending hunger and poverty. We've continued to reinforce the relevance of smallholder farmers as a critical point of transformation in our continent.
Wow, interesting. But I'm going back to the statement you mentioned about moving from a crop and then to cow. And also you talked about capital. What really is this capital in the hands of these smallholder farmers? Who really is this smallholder farmer? How important are they to Heifer International?
We have a continent today that is being fed by smallholder farmers predominantly. 75% of the people in the continent live in rural communities and depend on agriculture. So who are the smallholder farmers? They feed us. They all would not have a business if we do not have the farms and the smallholder farmers. So for us in Heifer, we understand the critical role they play in shifting the issues that we care about, which is hunger, poverty and caring for youth.
What's the agenda of Heifer for youth?
We've been working with youth across Africa and trying to create jobs for young people. And this year, as we mark 50 years in Africa, we've been very thoughtful about what not just the last 50 years have meant for us, but what the next 50 years is going to mean for our continent. And for technology to even penetrate and scale, we need financing, and then we need quick adopters of technology, and that's where the youth come in. Young people in Africa, all the way down to the first mile, are adopting technology at a speed. 70% of our continent today are youth. And so we started off the Ayute program, Agriculture, Youth and Technology, because we saw post-2020 that as a game changer. The world is not going to stop having more disruptions, but technology and innovation can allow us adapt and manage risk effectively. And then we went on to also launch a fund under our Ayute competition, where we were attracting young people who were thinking about innovation and trying to see how we could invest and support them. African youth were already beginning to think of solutions. The youth do not need agriculture. Agriculture needs the youth.
Agriculture needs the youth.
This is not a problem where we are trying to support our restless youth to get gainfully employed somewhere. This is a situation where our young people are the game changers for our continent, because they would unlock technology opportunities right from the farm gate all the way to the market.
But what's the place of collaborating and not seeing that there is competition, but more of complementing with Heifer and other organizations?
We know what we're good at, and we know what we've done for years. We also know what smallholder farmers need, and we know it's beyond what we Heifer alone can do. So we begin to see partnerships, first of all, as identifying our first mile partners who are closest to the farmers, and then identifying our partners that are also in the development space with us. The government who have the agenda and are already investing in the youth. And so for us, our strategy is one of collaborations, one of partnerships, and it's one of learning. And that's the way we see ourselves working in this space in the next 50 years.
Interesting.
Hi everyone, I'm Nyamache Msod from Heifer International Tanzania, and in this session we are glad to have Mark Soho, the country director for Heifer International. Mark, hello.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Reflecting the 50 years of Heifer's journey in Tanzania, tell us what are the big achievements that you have achieved so far in transforming the lives of smallholder farmers?
We have developed a long-rooted partnership with the government of Tanzania and other partners within the country. And more importantly, we have made a very good partnership with farmers, and that is very good to us. Initially, we are regarding farmers as beneficiaries, but we are very happy now after 50 years or during the journey, we have started regarding farmers as our partners. Number two is we've done a lot, and we are not proud. We are not proud of what we have delivered as handouts to the farmers. But what makes us proud is we have made the impact in the lives of the poor people within the country.
You're done in Tanzania for the 50 years. What have you done, integrating the innovative financing in your program as Heifer Tanzania?
This term innovative finance has started very recently. So for over 50 years, what we have been doing is to link farmers to a financial institution within the country. And I am proud to mention to you that Heifer International agreed to pilot a farmer visibility project within the country, because the biggest challenge before was the farmers were not visible. When you go to the banks, they were telling you that they have money. And when you go to farmers, they were telling us that they need money. And the other challenge was collateral. Most of the banks within the country require physical collateral. So what we want to address is how are we going to work into collateralization to make sure that we are changing the mindset of the banks from just thinking that the physical collateral, and now we are changing them into data. So we want to use much more of the data, which is a soft collateral that can be used to ensure that farmers are accessing more finance from these microfinancing institutions.
I think that is very impressive. Then I've seen you have been collaborating with different stakeholders, financial institutions being among. Looking ahead, what are the opportunities that you see for the smallholder farmers? And what are the plans for the Heifer International to leverage the cooperation, but also to embrace what you have done with the government and other stakeholders in the country for the prosperity of the smallholder farmers?
We're in the country with 62 million people currently. 75% of that population is young population. 80% of the population is employed or rather supported their livelihoods through agriculture. In 2050, Tanzania is going to have 118 million people. That means even the food demand within the country has to double. And that gives a message, a very big message to farmers, to the production side. We need to double the food production within the country. Now, that being the case, how are we going to double it? And there is another number, 62% of the population within the country are women. Therefore, in future, we are going to concentrate on major three things. Number one is to work with youth, not only to increase production, but to integrate technology. Number two is to work with women. There is no way that we are going to transform agriculture without working with women in the country. And number three, which is quite more critical to us, is innovation and technology. Even as we move on, we are facing more climatic shocks. So there is no way that we are going to address issues of climate, address issues of land without bringing in technology to increase production and productivity within the same piece of land, but in the same time addressing issues of the climate.
What exactly is Heifer International Uganda's focus?
At Heifer Uganda, we have aligned ourselves into what we call a signature program. And our signature program is called the Inclusive Market for Agribusiness Agenda. That signature program is a 10-year programming framework that will enable us to be able to reach out to close to about 400,000 smallholder farmers in Uganda by 2030, especially targeting young people. Young people and women are extremely important in our signature program.
So as a country program that has been in Uganda for about 46 years, what is your reach so far? And what is that we can, take home and say, this is it we've done in the last 46 years or so?
We've reached out to close to about 4 million people and close to about 1 million farming families in Uganda. So we are that organization which is committed driven and which is focused on driving the impact, because we know that impact is central to the transformation that we're looking forward to see in communities. We're a values-based organization that desire to see that the situation of a smallholder farmer can change meaningfully as much as possible.
Can you just tell us a little bit more exactly how we have enhanced farmers' competitiveness?
We've been working with smallholder farmers in the dairy value chain. The first stage was organizing them, so that then they can be able to produce efficiently, effectively, and then be able to access markets. So what we did was to be able to introduce what we call a clean source of energy, so that the business of aggregation and chilling of milk can operate more efficiently. So far, we've been able to support close to about 3 cooperatives to switch to what we call clean solar energy. And in total, close to about 100 kilowatt of energy is being produced at those centers. And then we've been able to reduce carbon emission. Now the generators have gone away, and the emissions that has been affecting the ozone layer, we're contributing towards that
See how we are protecting the earth.
Exactly, we're contributing towards reduction of
Sure.
the carbon emission. Basically, the point which I'm putting across is that the introduction of a given piece of technology is quite transformative in terms of how it creates change, it creates efficiencies, it creates the impact that we desire to see within the communities that we are working. Transformation and working with smallholder farmer is not a single-handed job. It requires partnership. We're looking forward to all sorts of partners, private sector, government, funders, like-minded organizations, who we can work together to be able to join hands, and we support our smallholder farmers so that they can be able to close the living income gap, and that they can get resilience, and that we can cause the meaningful transformation and impact that we desire to see in the communities where we work.